Looking forward to seeing this from all the crew here on track at Waimaro. Very good afternoon.
Thanks, Justin, as they make their way to the 318-metre start here. For the first of our Group 1s, it is Levi Bale who heads the betting, now backed into $2.20, Rosso. This dog by Zambora Brocky out of Kenju Bale, the fastest heat winner here with an 18.38, and he had trial prior with an 18.28.
And certainly, yeah. Fastest overall time, slowest leader, 4:66, and of course veering out as he did it. However, Dan Roberts, who's out there, thinks maybe he won't veer out as much. In fact, let's hear from Dan. You caught with them earlier.
Dan, Craig Scott, Levi Bale in the Ace Alley, probably not where you wanted to be. How do you think he's going to use it?
Yeah, I'm not expecting him to sort of drift off the track as bad as he did last week. That was only his second look at the track, so like coming into it today, this will be his third run here. Yeah, I'm not expecting him to drift off that bad. I think box one's going to be okay for him as long as he jumps like he did last week. He's big enough and strong enough to hold his own. So if he gets out cleanly and just stays underneath him to the first spin, he should be okay.
It's a big trip for him. How's he travelled up?
Nah, he's a dream. I wish I had 6 more of him in the van. He just goes to sleep and don't really hear too much from him. So he's handled the travel well.
You've also got Siddiqui Bale in the race. What do you rate her chances from the wide draw?
Wide draw is obviously going to work against her a wee bit. Probably helps at the 6-spin scratch. So I think it sort of wants off a wee bit. So that brings her into play a wee bit more. She was pretty good last week. She got off the lids really well. So if she can do that again, she's definitely going to put herself in contention. But she's probably just a wee bit below the likes of Levi Bale and Aston Lamont.
We just saw Siddiqui Bale on screen there with Corey Steele doing the handling, but we take you back to Levi Bale's heat win, and that's just him there pushing out, as you alluded to. But just looking at the way this field's drawn up, Rosso, he could be okay today with Sonic, Ritzer Alert and Up Your Quota, who all hold their line.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be very interesting to see whether Aston Lamont jumps on terms, because he can miss it on the wire rope at Manawatu, but he jumped well here last week. He led up in a 4.64. Levi was 4.66. He might provide a guiding line for Levi Bale. Down a kilo to 33.8. He has one considerably lighter than that, 33.2, 33.3 at Class 5 level, raced by Jan Wheeler. Good luck to you, Jan.
Number 2 is Aston Lamont, as you alluded to. Jumped beautifully. Look, if he were to go on par with Levi, maybe he straightens it up. But if he doesn't, I think he's the dog that gets that slingshot through up the rail, and he could be dangerous from there.
Best thing he could do is miss it. He was really good in his heat, and he'd been in good form leading up to that as well. Raced by Ray Border. Could be a really big hour for Ray. Of course, he's got the favourite Aston Kennett going around for the Cole Kennels there in the Cup.
Number 3 is Big Time Sonic. He's looking for a hat-trick here. He's taken to Monaco beautifully, unbeaten on this track to date. He's got strength and early speed. He
seems to really enjoy it here, and he's only just over 2. Go back a couple of months, he actually dropped from Class 4 to Class 3. You wouldn't be thinking he's a railway winner in waiting, but he's been outstanding since, gone back to Class 5, and he's in peak form. Sister Zola won earlier, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see him on top of the dice.
Absolutely not. As we move on to the 4, Ritzer Alert for Gary and Sandra Fredrickson. He too won his heat off box number 2 with an 18.51, and when I spoke to Sammy Phillips, who's out there handling him, they wanted a middle draw for him, and they got it.
They did indeed, and raced by Brendan Keane, and he's a quality dog, and we thought he could be a Galaxy winner back in November. Things went wrong in the semi-final, but he's off the rail today, which is a good thing, but he is going to have to really muscle up into the bend.
Number 5 is Up Your Quota for one of the locals, Phil Green. He's one of the Class 4 chasers in this race, Aaron. He's a dog that you've got a lot of time for, and he was second behind Ritzer Alert in the heat.
Yeah, not a bad run by Up Your Quota. He's the only Class 4 chaser in the field, so good effort there by Phil Green to get him into the race, and could certainly be the pivot dog, because if he can get out of the traps like he did in the heats, he could be the one that gets up there in the face of the favourites drawn to its inside.
Number 7 is Siddiqui Bale, and as Dan alluded to, a bit of a job for her to get across, but she was very good when second in her heat, and she's had a couple of looks at this track.
She hasn't won a race this year. She's raced by Brendan Wheeler. Good luck to Nick Wright with Up Your Quota. He's had a good couple of weeks with Calf King. Siddiqui Bale, look, I think from the 7, trouble for her, notwithstanding last year the outsider won this race.
Emily's Perfect for Emma Potts and Darren McLaughlin already got a winner today, and she did this by jumping off the lids, ran second in her heat, and that's what she needs to do today.
She was really good too. She wrestled that lead, and she earned her place here when Mintaz got over the top of her, and of course Mintaz not a rival today.
And completing the field is Smile a While for Tracy and Lisa Craig. He'll jump from box number 6, and his mother, Just One Smile, won this race as well in the past. Did she, as we hand it up to you here, Aaron? You are 1, 2, 3, 7. I'm 1, 2, 3 and 4, and Rozzo's 1, 2, 3 and 4.
Yeah, I did make the long shot too here, Smile a while. I thought its run in the heat was good. Gets into a decent enough box for it here today too. So let's find out our Group 1 Railway Sprint winner for 2023. They're locked and ready, the green light through. Let's go to the best lure driver in the business, Mike Lozelle, as he brings it up to the start. Set and ready. Racing out fast there was Up Your Quota up over on the outside, looking to come forward. Smile a while. Levi Bale back on the inside there, followed by Aston Lamont. Oh, Levi Bale got into trouble there with Smile a while further back in the field, then to Big Time Sonic. They're followed then by Emily's Perfect out the back there. Siddiqui Bale up. They coming. Up Your Quota, the Class 4. Up Your Quota takes them all the way. Levi Bale second, third over Aston Lamont. They were followed then by Smile a While back in the field, then to Emily's Perfect. Siddiqui Bale was always out the back with Ritzer Alerts. Big Time Sonic amongst those tail enders as well. Up Your Quota, $24.80 and $4.70. Nick Wright, the owner. Phil Green qualified this dog as a Class 4. Showed exceptional speed in his heat to be run down late by Ritzer Alert. There was no stopping him today. Number 5, Up Your Quota. Levi Bale had his chance. 18:36 will be the time. 18:36. That's why they couldn't drag him back. 13:88 on the way home. Number 5, Up Your Quota. One Levi Bale for second there. The Zambora Bronchi dog out of Kenju Bale. Craig Roberts for JJ Wheeler. And the 2 will be the third, Aston Lamont, our border own, Lisa Cole trained. Aston DB dog, Aston Geisha. 2 1/4 lengths was the winning margin. The 5, Up Your Quota, well, thought he'd be the pivot dog in the race. So certainly didn't think he'd be in front swinging for home and not to be caught. And the stadium has erupted here with the Phil Green trained son of Kilty Lad. Class 4 chaser, 2 1/2 lengths by 3/4 of a length. There's going to be a great story around this win. Up Your Quota.
Well, Sade, you do a lot of work with Phil Green, and I got told last week that you've got the lucky hands with this dog getting him to jump, and you've done it again.
Yeah, I'm absolutely blown away. I didn't expect him to come out that good today, and yeah, I'm just got no words.
When you saw Aston Lamont and Levi Bale on his tail, did you think they were going to pick him up, or he was going to hang on?
I think the gap that he did have on them, I think he's a pretty strong dog, so I was pretty confident, but you never know in those situations. But he got the job done, so over the moon.
Did you guys do much with him throughout the week?
No, just kept him quiet.
And what does this win mean to not only you, but Phil and the team?
Oh, it's to get a Group 1 win for the owners and Phil, it's very exciting.
Can you tell a little bit emotional there?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And what's he mean to you? Is he your favourite dog?
One of my favourites, yeah. Yeah, he's a very special boy, this one.
Well, I know you've got such an association with him. Congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you very much.
Sade there, Rozzo, with one of her favourite dogs, and I did speak to Phil Green last week, and he just told me she seems to get him to lift, and she's done that today.
Quite remarkable. For the second year running, we've had a Class 4 greyhound win the Railway Sprint. The last time this dog won a race was at Class 5 level. It was back in September, but he won the break today, and he ran so quick, as Aaron alluded to, that the stronger dogs could not pick him up because he's got enough strength himself. Out of Botany Downs, who won 18 herself. Raced by Nick Wright, and he's had a good couple of Fridays with Calf King at the Manawa 2 from the Phil Green kennel. And supporters up there might have been cashing in on the $24.40 and $4.20. $1.20 Levi Bale, $1.70 Aston Lamont, $31.80 Quinella, $412.70 the trifecta. First fours paid $3,808.40, 5129. $38 double, one with 5 blades and Master Leg 1, and the concession a pair of ones, $1.80. Pip again, a Class 4 dog, takes out the Railway for the second year running. All about the jump here as we see the drone so far superior off the lids. The race was done. Levi Bale here, a little bit of contact with just one smile, but for all that, it didn't make the margin of a difference.
It didn't at all. I mean, that was just incredible. He'd pretty much cleared the map before any of them else were out. And you can see how wide he come. And when he did, I thought Aston Lamont had his opportunity to come back, but he's balanced up and he's powerfully finished home. And a great group of owners too. You could see them screaming in the grandstands when I was heading out for that interview, as they should be.
Yes, well, Nick there holding the trophy, and he's been at the Manawa 2 Raceway the last couple of Fridays for Calf King, and he's having a good old time here with the short course sprinters. Win 11, start number 65, first win in nearly 6 months. That's the beauty of greyhound racing, and particularly this railway sprint. It's starting to get a reputation of throwing them up.
It is, and to the Northerners too, of course. It keeps going their way, and this local here, Up Your Quota, of course, we'll see him back week in, week out here at Manukau, and he's taken out a Group 1 today for Phil Green, who's been in the game a long time, and Sade Hunt too. I mean, I can go through so much footage of seeing her as a teenager with a dog like Swift Fantasy, and now she's handled a Group 1 railway winner.
Yeah, congratulations to Phil. As you say, look, he has been in the game for a long, long time, and he's had some really good dogs too, but it's really hard to win at Group 1 level. It's so hard. But he's done it today with Up Your Quota at big odds.
And I can tell you, he had a bit of a twinkle in his eye too, Blake, when I caught up with him last week. He did spin me a little bit of a story about a bath, which I won't allude to, but he's put the polish on today, and there's been a big upset here in the 10th.
Oh, as it what I really enjoyed that running of the Group 1, taking out another upset after Golden Fern last year. The Group 1 Railway Sprint Final taken out by Up Your Quota, just put a lead on them early. Levi Bale came out on Aston Lamont, but in the end, Up Your Quota runs in 18:36, which is more than good enough to take out that Group 1. Wins it from the start, as is often the case in those sprint races. And Calf King going really well in Palmerston North on a Friday, and this guy, Up Your Quota, he's now a Group 1 winner. We've seen in recent years Golden Fern, and going back a few years ago, Just One Smile winning at a similar 20-1 price for the Crakes. The Northerners have a little reputation of taking out their local race at a bit of a price over the last 4 or 5 years, and the honours go to Up Your Quota, box number 5. Beats the Fancies from the inside, as we see from the head-on replay, just manages to cross Ritzer Alert, and Levi Bale was coming out and coming across the Smile a while. They bumped with Aston Lamont getting a run on the inside, but Up Your Quota was far too good, 18:36. Wasn't going to be caught when he began that well. And as Rosso touched on, his last C5 was in September last year. He's now won 4 C5 races. He won 3 C5 races before this race, so he knows how to get it done, and often at a big price. Up Your Quota wins after back-to-back runners-up spots, including that heat last week to Ritzer Alert, crosses the field, reverses the fortune and gets the job done. Great railway.